Hey old soul, just over a year ago I sold everything I owned and moved to the land of Bali with my ex-husband and 3 kids. Now I live my dream life, traveling first class around the world, teaching others how to do the same. If you are ready for a life that is so abundant and free, where money flows like air so effortlessly that you don't even care because you are simply focusing on you and allowing everything to be true, then you are exactly where you need to be. Let me teach you how to be wildly abundant and insanely free.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Vibration of Wealth podcast. I am so excited because we never have guests on this podcast, and we are doing a very special series with a few of my absolute favorite people in the whole world. These phenomenal leaders that have come into my space to really just activate their superpowers. They've been incarnating for quite some time. I wouldn't say that they're new souls, very old souls. So today we have a very special guest, one of my absolute favorite friends, clients, just insanely inspirational, very high vibrational human that is probably one of the happiest people you will ever meet. And her name is Jasi Colley. And that name, even your name, it's literally like encoded with upbeat vibes, like jazzy. Let's get jazzy with it. So, welcome, Jazzy. How are you?
Oh, I'm amazing, beautiful soul. Thank you so much, Eva. That's a gorgeous introduction. I will receive that gratefully. Thank you for having me on. It's honestly an honor. I love your podcast. I love all your work, and your voice has such a resonance. To be invited to share that resonance with you is really a gift. So thank you so much.
Oh, you are so welcome. And it's such an honor to have you here and create magic that we can share with the world. So, could you tell us a little bit about who you are, your story, how you kind of even wound up in this space, coming into my teachings, going on this path of spirituality? Because let's face it, it's not just me, it's so much bigger than me. It's a big awakening when you step into this world of energy and transformation and constantly quantum leaping. So, yeah, please share how on earth you wound up here.
Oh, it's a bit of a story actually. So we met, I'd say, 7 years ago. I was working in the events industry at the time and spent 22 years in human development and high level events. So running the most beautiful, humbling, soul-led events, and it totally lit me up. I did a tiny little bit of work for you, I remember, about 7 years ago. And then from that connection, just started following your work. And then I would say about 3 years ago, I was realizing that the path I was on was amazing, but definitely steeped in workaholism. Let's face it, most of us have suffered from some ism, I guess you could say. And I realized that I needed to make some changes, no matter how amazing the events were and how much they lit me up and impacted change in other people, they actually weren't filling my cup up. So I was pretty void and was looking for something, kept watching your work. And I was thinking this morning on my morning walk that it's been a year that I've been working with you this month. How quickly has that gone by? Like officially working with you as a client. And I it's hard to, I get emotional thinking about it. It's hard to put into words how much I have come home to myself in those 12 months. And so it's been a ride, but I have completely just embraced your teachings. And after 22 years in human development, I guess I had a level of, we could call it a little bit of ego. And a little bit of, oh, is there anything new for me to learn? I mean, I'm always learning, but I guess I had this filter that everything's okay and I'm great and I'll be right and I'll get there eventually. But because of the incredible start I had to life and the incredible conditioning from both of my parents around working hard to get to a certain level, I essentially had hit a ceiling on my income and my money, not because of my abilities or because I wasn't working hard enough, but because I was just stuck in hustle and grind. And so I just no longer subscribe to that. And literally life feels effortless. And yeah, it's wonderful. So I guess that's how we came to be. Obviously, there's a ton more history there as well in my life story. But yeah, it's been a beautiful just coming home to myself and feeling really grounded in my day to day. And I have turned my habits, my rituals, my income generation, my career, my sense of identity, my marriage, my relationship with my kids, my home, my everything on its head. And that's taken courage. But I'm now genuinely proud of the life I'm creating. Yeah.
I just love that so much. And I just want to honor you so much because it's one thing to choose to go through the upgrade and subscribe to a mentor's teachings and their frequencies and activate, the parts of my frequency into you because you'd never copy and paste. You're such an old soul. It's really just adopting this frequency, which is effortless flow, which is ease, which is just presence and being able to be paid to exist and being purely in the embodiment of who you already are. And so I love that you said coming home to myself because that really is what it is. It's like all my work really is embodying a frequency so that everybody can step into that frequency and discard all of the programming so that they can just be. And it's so ridiculous that we live in a world where it's like, so you just be and you get everything that you desire, everything that was already made for you, that was meant for you, that was, purely destined for you. But the hard work is releasing the programming, it's cleaning the field. We're really sort of cleaners that have come into this 3D experience to help transcend all of the programming and we can just stand and be and allow the universe to mirror that back to us. And you're right, it does take courage. It does take bravery because it's not easy to stand in a paradigm where you get paid to exist when the rest of the world is teaching. And I don't really like the word brainwashing, but that's what's coming through right now. So, like, brainwashing, hard work is the only way. And to people that are working hard, I remember James on our retreat, and he was asking about what do I mean about the hard work? Like, how does that actually work? And I said, if you love working hard, like it lights you up, it activates you when you're doing a lot throughout a day, but it doesn't actually feel like hard work. You're not hustling to get an outcome, then it's pure alignment, it's pure bliss. But when you're doing it to get a result, when you're trying, when you're striving, it's so out of alignment because that comes from conditioning and it dilutes our power and our presence. And yeah, wow. I love that so much. So you did touch on that it wasn't easy and that, there's obviously like you've flipped your whole life on its head. You've literally had to go through a massive death and then a rebirth. So I'd love to kind of touch into where you found were the points that you needed to cultivate the most amount of courage. You needed to really step up and step in and go, okay, cool. I've got to roll up my sleeves now and feel safe in the change of this.
Yeah, beautiful question. The thing that comes to me and lands for me most in that question is I remember the first call that you and I ever did together, aside from the professional work years back. So a year ago, roughly speaking, we had a call, and I remember you talking about the death and rebirth or the birth, like cycles that we go through in life. And I guess I'd always, and I remember voicing this to you, I'd always struggled with not death, because I do believe I'm an old soul and I do believe that I have incarnated many, many times. And I believe that we all get another go, whether it's in this earth realm or somewhere else. But I was not fearful of death. but I had definitely not embraced the idea of just killing off these identities that no longer serve me. And I didn't realize how attached I was to them, like really holding on to this version of myself, like the good girl, you know. I was always the black sheep in the family, and I still am. And I love that. I remember saying to my mum when I was a kid, I'm not just going to have an average life, Mum. Like, I'm not just going to marry anyone. Like, he needs to be the Prince Charming. Like, he will rock up on his black horse with his chariot, and and he will like sweep me up. And I remember my mum saying to me, honey, that's a fairy tale. That stuff doesn't happen. The crazy thing is,
Mm.
since May last year, our marriage has gone through this rebirth where I have the chariot and I have the husband, my prince, my king, that is everything that I always wanted. But it was knowing that I needed to shift and evolve and take responsibility for how I was showing up in our marriage that impacted the greatest transformation. So I needed to kill off and it sounds terrible, but it's true. I needed to kill off the old version of the wife I was being, which was like dutiful and getting all the jobs done and super supportive, and you go do what you want to do and spend your money how you want to and ride your dirt bikes and I'll be here with the kids. And now I just have implemented all these beautiful boundaries where we get to show up for each other in a completely different way. Like, it's like dating again. And I don't know, and we both talk about there was a time where it probably would have been easier to just leave, but we dug in. We dug in deep because we do believe we're meant to be together. And so both of us have done this deep inner work over the last year. So I guess the question was around like what's been the most challenging part, and it has actually been just letting go and just saying to myself, it's okay, like you're perfectly safe. My inner child is perfectly loved and safe, and you've got me to this pod in my life. And I'm so grateful for the workaholic
Hold
and
on, I can't hear you, I think.
oh,
Can
have
you
you
hear
gone
me? There we go. There we go. Yep.
before?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so grateful. Yeah. I'm so grateful to the workaholic that got me to this spot and that epic conditioning as a child, but I'm so ready to let that go. And I guess through what you advocate, I just knew there was more. Like, how could it possibly be this hard to get a result in life? Like, why isn't it just easy? Like, we're not born for struggle. We're not born for disease. We're not born for just exhaust. I mean, I was pre-breast cancer sick, adrenal fatigue, chronic fatigue, like really made myself sick through the conditioning and the choices I made. And I'm now at peak vitality. I turn 47 next month. Like, life's a vibe. I just feel
Yep.
amazing. And I'm just getting started. Like, I literally feel like I'm just getting started, Ever. And so grateful for that. It's like the courage to release, kill off, slay the parts of us that are no longer needed and no longer serve. It's so rewarding on the other side. So that was the hard work. That was letting go of friendships, letting go of businesses. We've closed 3 businesses in the last year. Just letting go of old everything, and it feels good. On the other side, it feels really good. Yeah.
I I I love that so much because it is like when we start working with, energy and doing the Kundalini work, and it's
Mm.
such a nuance to know and have full discernment, because you had discernment that the businesses weren't aligned. That was, courage. That was discernment because you can feel it in your body. But you knew that the relationship was still aligned. You knew it wasn't time to let that go. You knew that it was just a little bit deeper. And when you dig deeper and you allow all of the conditioning to leave, it's almost like the flower just blossoms. It's like, wow, like the gold was here all along. The magic was here all along, but I couldn't see it because I was the wrong version of myself to see it. And you evolve your consciousness and it's like, wow,
Yeah,
wow.
2%. It's actually mind-blowing when you stop as a workaholic where the flag, previous identity, or the the hustle and the grind and ticking things off the list is actually, I've had a great day because I've got X done. And then when I stop and I'm still, there's this deep remembrance and this deep cellular connection with self. And I feel myself now so effortlessly. When I go out of alignment, it just pulls everything down. It's like this ripple effect. When I come back to myself and I connect deeply, it's just everything falls into place. And I make the most money when I'm doing nothing. And my kids are the happiest when I'm doing nothing. Now, I'm not someone that actually does nothing. That's not real. I don't think that'll ever be in my DNA. I'm always gently on the move and there's always things going on. But my greatest success at the moment is when I nourish myself and I connect with myself and I stay in alignment. And then everything is just magical. And even the kids' tantrums and all kinds of things, as you know, they don't go away just because I'm all zen over here. But even those and my ability to deal with that and the really big emotions, my capacity as a human being is definitely magnified massively over the last 12 months. Definitely.
I love that. And that's really what it is. It's about expanding our capacity. It's about regulating our nervous system so that the tantrums don't throw us, so that things don't go crazy, so that we can hold everything all the time. Like it's the kids' tantrums, it's the holding the work when our kids are on school holidays, which mine are right now. And it's, turning up with presence and calmness and not letting anything shake you. It's like it doesn't need to shake you. It's like it's funny, like when you're going through upgrades and internet's unstable and things are changing and kids are screaming and it is, and I don't like to use the word tested, but it really is the stay calm. It's okay. It's all good. How have you found working with the Kundalini frequency? And how have you found like you've been able to integrate, you've been able to grow, you've been able to evolve? Because it's not an easy feat working with this energy and activating this energy. And I think that's why I am so particular in making sure that people are, or have in the past have an infrastructure of multiple six figures a year, because it really is like a big death when you start to work with this frequency. And if you haven't created the soul wealth or the energetic wealth to sustain what's going to happen in the physical reality, it can be a lot when everything kind of falls away and you go through the death of the three businesses and you go through all of the things. It's almost like the universe just puts a vacuum on you and it sucks away anything that isn't aligned and then leaves you there with what's aligned. You've got to go, oh, okay, the marriage is still here. What's happening? Oh, I need to change. Okay.
That is so true, literally. I've learned that when everything feels like it's crumbling and falling apart, that's when I smile the most inside. It's like, yes, because I asked for this. Like, I wanted more. I'm not born for mediocrity. None of us are. It's like a 1 in 97 trillion chance that we get to be physically here. Like, that just gives me goosebumps thinking about it. So, I guess for me, I've learned that I had a messy day yesterday. Like it was a messy day. Just to be here with you, I've got organized babysitters so that it's quiet. As you say, at school holidays, well, I world school my children. So I'm with them full time, 7 days a week. I have a FIFO husband, so he's MIA for half of the time. So there's a level of intensity that's going on at any given moment anyway. And I had a bit of a, not a faceplant day, but it was full on. There was so much going on, and we've called in more change. We're moving international in June. And so there's, there's just another level of change going on for us and internal transformation. And as the day unfolded and it felt gritty and gnarly, I just kept smiling inside. And I was able to have conversations with the kids that, gosh, I know this sounds weird, but I can almost be an actor in my own hologram now, where I'm like, the kids need to see that this is a boundary they've crossed and it's really upset me. But it actually hasn't really upset me, but I've just got to show them that it has. I've got to lean in to communicating how the impact that certain behaviors and words can have on other people, and and how do they still shine their light but in a safe way. And so it's just one of those days, and I got to the end of the day and I went to bed and I was like, bring on the upgrade. There is so much goodness happening in this week because it's all falling apart today. And I just go to bed and I did a meditation and I felt that frequency wash over me at the end of the meditation, and I went to bed happy and grateful. It stormed all night like lightning and thunder, and I'm like, that was kind of my mood a couple of times yesterday, so thanks for mirroring that, Mother Earth. And woke up and there's, it smells like rain and it's washed away everything, and my family's all back and connected and happy, and it's a beautiful thing. So the frequency is very strong, and I agree that you need to be at least willing to do the inner work for it to land, because it just, things do get shaken and stirred up, and life changes a lot. I was very ready for that. The definition of insanity for me is to keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And I'd been doing that for years. Work hard, play hard, be a good person, and it will all fall into place. And now it's just, that's not me. It's like, let's relax, let's unwind, let's just be more, and let's tap into who am I at my core being? What are my values? And then let's just dream style that life that reflects my values, and then be brave enough to go grab it. And the funny thing is, you think you've got to go and get it, but it just comes. It's just lands. Like all the solutions come to me now in the void of just being still, the void of not chasing anymore. They all just come for me. And I think Instagram probably listens to me. That's probably part of it, and picks up my brainwave signal. But the number of solutions that come from Instagram, social media platforms, friends, just landing, and it's just crazy. So it is a powerful frequency. I do believe that it ages you backwards. I believe it connects vitality in a way that, I've been doing through holistic health for 20 years, but I really feel like it does that in a more, effortless, deep, subconscious way. And yeah, I am now at the point where I can call it in, not all the time as strongly as I would like to. That's something I'll keep cultivating, but I can drop into my body and feel safe and have a full all over, rush of this Kundalini energy. And I never take it for granted. It's such a gift.
I love it. If we can channel this Kundalini frequency, this life force energy, which has always been within us, why can't we channel the money, the relationships, the vitality? Like we can channel the air that we breathe into our lungs. It's just the only reason we can't channel certain things faster is because of a belief, and it's just restoring factory settings. But I love that so much. And it's just a huge testament to you, because this is why I always say I work with leaders, because if you don't work with leaders, I do believe the frequency is too hard for people that are sort of starting out to work with, because you have to be okay with looking at your shadows. You have to be okay with the second you get the feeling to let go of the business, you have to let it go. The second you get the feeling, the whisper to let go of a friendship, you have to let it go. And it's not about oh, like the ego, I've got to get rid of all these friendships and I've got to hang out with rich people. It's not about that at all because you can easily remove yourself from any relationship without having to physically cut it off. But it is being guided internally by the soul whispers and not making them mean anything. Just allowing it to be like a garden that's being looked after every day and trusting that the thing that's coming through is that that friendship was a weed that it would have looked beautiful in the old version of you, but now it's, it's crushing and sucking the life from all the roses and the beautiful blooms in the field. And it is being able to evolve because the universe isn't linear. It operates in different dimensions and frequencies. And yeah, that's the thing I love most about this work. I feel like you can feel, as you were saying with the storm, like you know that it was a part of you. It's not ignorance. It's not like, oh my gosh, like why is there a storm? It's like, yes, I was angry. Yes, I'm the most powerful person in my reality. Everything I see is me because right now there's someone in the house behind me that's not witnessing a storm. So it gets so trippy.
It does. It does. The levels are deep. Definitely. Something you said then really resonated with me. I may have mentioned it before, but I started playing with time because you did this wonderful call with me around time. And I guess I understood it previously, but how you delivered it really resonated. So I started playing with time, and 17's always been my favorite number. And I it's probably been my favorite number for about 5 years, actually, to be clear. But I've never played with time before, really. I've always been 2 minutes over or bang on time, never early. I don't wear a watch much. My business is investing and travel and world schooling my kids. So I'm not bound to a clock. So I don't look at the time much. I try and keep my phone away from me just to keep the example to the children that it's a conscious connection when we choose to do it. And every single time I would look at my phone or look at a clock in the house, it would say 17. And even on the oven or training at the gym, the rack would say 17. And I'd never seen the 17 before. And it made me laugh. And I think that's the thing that I love most about the Kundalini energy is I just want to play. Like life feels like this big game now. And I like thinking of myself as an actor in a game, and it's my play, it's my hologram. And if I don't like the screen we're on, it's literally next. And I can be on a walk in the morning. I'm like, not pretty enough. Dial this up. Where's the dolphin next? And I swear some people are like, why does she keep doing that while she's walking? But it just makes me laugh because it's that easy. And so I have now started playing with 18 as my number just for fun. And of course, when I pick up my phone, it'll say 418, and it's 18 that keeps coming up in messages. And oh, it's hilarious. So then I've also started playing with money. And I had a really big income month 2 months ago that not came out of the blue. It was a result of decisions I'd made previously, so investing decisions. And then the next month, out of the blue, that similar amount came in unexpectedly. And I was like, oh, well, let's just play with this. And I'm not talking small figures either. Like I'm talking tens of thousands. And it was just like, let's play with this. And it happened again. So I'm like, well, where is it? It's done for April. So can we fit another one in April, or is it coming in May? Regardless, it needs to happen monthly now. That's just my expectation. And that's the game I'm playing. And the freedom that comes from realizing that I'm it. Like I am my own divinity. I am it, and it is my responsibility to show up, have fun, live my best life. No one else will do it for me. It's just like I feel more free than I have in so long. And yeah, it's powerful frequency. Definitely.
Oh, I love that. It's like you have to take radical responsibility. No one else will do this for me. Like I've got to do it for myself. No one else is gonna go to the parts of my shadow that I've been avoiding and allow them to transmute. And no one else is going to be in this moment in time and actually go, you know what? I'm raising my standards. The day's not
Yeah.
beautiful enough. I want some more roses. Like I've created this. These are all quantum particles that are manipulating for, my subconscious mind. So I want more money. Thank you. And it's just that simple. It's like, it doesn't mean anything about anything. It's just, I would actually like to experience this in the 3D. It's like a kid picking up Play-Doh. It's like, cool, I'm done playing with the red Play-Doh. Can I have the blue Play-Doh? And the universe isn't like, oh, you're asking for a big number. Think you're a big player. The universe is just like, yeah, take the green Play-Doh. Like it doesn't matter. There's no limitations. There's no restrictions. It's just conditioning that's like, you need this and that. Because it's like, the number, like the banks could take the money at any time. You could literally look at your bank account and then the next day there could be an extra $100,000 in it if you could believe, like get out of the systematic programming that can't happen and actually just believe that, yeah, it can happen and doesn't even need to be traced because that's how trippy this empty space reality is. Like,
Yeah, it's true. The magic happens in ways that you don't realize, and then you start to look for it, so then it happens more. And it can be the simplest of things, like I really need to get something today, and a neighbor will drop it off on the doorstep, or someone will deliver eggs, and there's an egg shortage at the moment. They're like, here, have some eggs. It doesn't matter what it is. And then the universe doesn't know that that's not $1,000 or $500,000 that's just been delivered to your doorstep. So it's the gratitude around receiving the dozen eggs that you didn't have to go out and find during an egg shortage. And then it just seems to build and build to the point where it's almost comical. Like it's just comical with the deepest respect for the power of it. So yeah, I mean, my life is really focused around deep presence and deep gratitude now. And I can definitely feel when I move away from either of those, I can see the ripple effect through my daily reality. So, and then I just, oh, right, quick check, pull yourself back into line, Jazzy, you can do this. What do you need to do to work on your frequency? Because literally that's where it is for me. It's all a frequency.
So would
Yeah.
you say that's the biggest change you've made in the last year, like focusing on your frequency?
Yeah, 100%. How much can I expand my own vessel? Because I've spent my life, whether it's seeking external validation through running events for so many decades, burning myself into the ground, people pleasing, taking care of others, always being that brilliant friend that's checking in and messaging. And now I just let it all come to me. And it doesn't mean I don't nourish things, but I just let it come to me. And I realize that if my frequency or my vessel is full and I'm focusing on my own vibe and my own, how I show up, then don't get me wrong, with more transformation and more change and more money and more resources comes greater responsibility. My days are not like just cruising through, but my capacity is, and the number of miracles that happen for me seem to be directly correlated to how intact my frequency is and how much I've taken care of myself and nurtured myself. And it's no longer selfish. It's actually the best thing that I can do for the world is to be an expanded version of self, because then I can help so many more people. I can take, the calls and the energy and the advice I give out for free around health or whatever it might be. I've got more capacity for it, and it's no longer a grind. It's no longer any resentment or frustration around it. It's just an honor, and it feels good. So yes, I think it's super important. Yeah.
I love that. And I think for people like I'm very, very visual. So I just got this visual then where it's like the container. So your vessel is just so clean, so pure. You're doing all the work to put good food into your body, to, invest in in vitamins and all of the things that you need to look after, the self-care, the beauty routines, all of those things, keeping your container clean. And then there's the inner work, which is the emotional regulation, it's the nervous system regulation, the Kundalini frequency, so we can expand this energy that we can't see. You know, we physically, like our soul can see it, our soul understands it, but that's the 3D body. You know, it's nervous system regulation, because if we are not calm, we can't hold it. We're getting rid of it without even realizing it. And so I just saw this like beautiful container of you, and then all this money, all this overflow just pouring in, and you being able to hold it with this like golden container, this golden goose egg, because you've done the work, because you can hold it, because holding more money, because the money coming in is the ability to allow the money to flow out as well. It's how calm can you be when you're spending insane amounts of money and not freaking out because you're in the frequency of, well, it always comes back to me. There could be $1 in my account and I'm not stressed out at all, because I trust, because I know, because I expect millions and millions flow. And it really is just that beautiful energy. And it's such a huge testament to you, because the past version of you would have done a lot more work to receive the amount of money that you're receiving now. But now you've got a life, you've got space, you've got time to homeschool your girls, you've got time to live this beautiful life and not be stressed and go, oh, maybe I do want to go to another country. Maybe I do want to live here. Maybe I do want to live there. You're not. And I know I was definitely this version in the past. I would have been, if I was married to Sean, I would have been yelling, being like, why are you not here? Like, I can't do this on my own. I'm not a slave. Like all the parents programming. It's like, delete. That's just not a vibe anymore. It's like parenting's easy. It's effortless. They can throw as many tantrums as they want, but I'm regulated. I can hold these tantrums. They can do whatever they want, and I'm not going to get thrown by this. It's just like, oh, interesting. I see their tantrums like a butterfly landing on a leaf. It is that easy.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I was in the car a couple of days ago, and literally Sean and the two kids were all whinging about stuff. And I was like making up this song, like, your whinge is so cringe, baby. And I was singing over and over. And then I got out of the car to run into the shops for what I needed for dinner. We'd been out. It was a big day, you know, to be fair to the kids, but we needed stuff for dinner. Came back, and they had just rewired. It had landed for them that their whinging was cringe, and they had rewired. And they're like, Mommy, you look so glorious today. What did you get for dinner? And Mummy, look at that lady's pretty outfit over there. And I said, oh, where did my family go? You know, like just continuing the joke. We had such a good time. The whole drive home from there was just laughter and joking and play, which is that Kundalini energy and vibe, is playfulness. So yeah, I mean, the old me might have sat silent in the front seat, resentful that I was the one carrying the vibe. And then instead of continuing to carry it, I would have flipped it to resentment and sat silent in the car and expected everyone to want to be a vibe when their mum's cranky. The new me is like, well, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. I'm the lucky one. I get to get out of the car and go get the food, leave there, cringe. Yeah, so it using it daily and just playing with it is fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I love, like, I'm the same. I would just, yeah, start breaking out in song form, and they'll just be like, what is happening? Like, I just find it so funny, or I just hysterically laugh when they're grumpy, because it is like a comedy movie, like every day in your life. Why doesn't it have to be a comedy movie? Like, it's the play, and you know, when you're in flow, you channel that song. You're like, the whinge is so cringe. Like, you've channeled this rhythmic flow to break up and that's really what we are. We're the disruptors. We're the disruptors of the old frequencies. We're anchoring in these new potent frequencies. We're frequency holders, and it's effortless. It's so effortless to do that. Whereas the programming is like locked in space and time and not able to, you know, you're resentful, how dare they, and all this stuff. And it's just like, no, like I've chosen this. I've chosen this family for certain reasons, to remind me of how powerful I am, to remind me of how easy it is. And and this is the thing, I feel like when we're evolving our frequency and we're raising our vibration, our consciousness, there are parts where we're wounded and we try to avoid the darkness. We try to avoid lower frequencies. And the real power is being able to be around the most moodiest, painful person in the entire universe and be able to smile and just laugh. And I had that recently. I went back to Australia for a week with my son, and This is like let's face it, people in Australia just aren't as happy as Bali when they're serving. Like it's like Karens at the diner, just like I don't want to be here. And I'm just like biggest grin on my face, smiling, and I'm not in the energy of I've got to force this person to be happy because that's manipulation. It's like, why do they need to be happy? If they're having the worst day of their life, they can just have the worst day of their life. But I'm just smiling like a creep. And the lady's like almost starts hysterically laughing because it's just like weird how much I'm smiling, like to buy this stuff at Priceline. And it's just hilarious because people, we're not here to force people. We're here to be a lighthouse and
Yeah.
allow people to remember. And if they want to remember how easy it can be, how fun it can be, how playful it can be, because I don't see any reason life needs to be hard. Like you can lose $1 billion deal and just laugh at it. Like it doesn't, like the only reason it has to be painful is because of conditioning that you're nothing without billions, you're nothing without anything. And that's just not true. It doesn't matter what is actually happening in this 3D reality. It means nothing about you because when you go into the void, sometimes things do disappear or they do change and it means nothing, absolutely
Mm.
nothing about you.
Yeah, totally agree. The void is a very real thing that I've embraced. I have spent more time alone in the last year than I ever have before, and I'm the happiest I've ever been. I'm just not servicing everything outside of myself unless it feels truly aligned. And that, like, it's definitely been discerning what friendships light me up, who mirrors my energy, who at least tries. They don't need to be on the same journey. It's not about that, but who at least, and it's just this effortlessness. Yeah, that's a cool story. I feel like just by being us, we light so many people up. So I used to think that I needed to be this amazing event manager and work so hard and have this epic life purpose. And now I just think when I go shopping, I must make 20 people's days because I can look them in the eye. I know who I am. I love myself enough to, it's not ego, it's just a really deep sense of embodiment. Like I love the parts of me, my cellulite, my wrinkles, my lifelines. Like I struggle with that for a long time, but I've really integrated the dark with the light. And I love it all because it got me to here and it's just going to keep getting better. And so I can literally smile at someone and it's not fake, I'm not putting it on. And you can see some people have not had a smile for the whole day or maybe days from someone else, and you can literally see them change, but they feel seen. And I just think, well, maybe that's my life purpose, is being an amazing mum and traveling the world and sprinkling my fairy dust everywhere. And that's enough for me right now.
Mm. And that's all purpose is. It's being you. Like that's
Yeah.
all it is. It's just, and we get so stuck in the 3D of, oh, I'm meant to do this and I'm meant to do that. My purpose is here. My purpose is there. And we've got all these stories. And it's like, no, your purpose is just to embody your frequency. And when you, as you know, an old soul, a star seed, a light worker, a frequency holder, whatever you want to call it, you don't need to call it anything, but it resonates. You're like, I just see this vision of like you're the music, like when you go walking through, you know, Coles or Woolworths or the organic markets, and you're subconsciously playing a song, you know, it's a little bit like that bittersweet symphony, this life. And it's just like, dun, 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 dun. And everyone's just like, they can't hear it, but they can feel it. They feel the energy of it. It's like when your favorite song plays and you just want to get up and dance. It's like you're just being you. I'm getting goosebumps. And it is just that easy. It is
Yeah.
that effortless. It's just like you don't have, and this is conditioning where like we think we have to smile to make everyone happy. No, you don't. You just have to be you. You could be having the worst day in the world, but you've done all this work, so your frequency is potent, and you walk through a place and it's just easy. Like people are just like, oh wow, like I don't know why, but I just feel good. I just feel good when I'm standing beside you. I just feel different. And that gives them the invitation to upgrade their frequency subconsciously and have a better day, live a better life. And they'll never know, but it is. It's like Tinkerbell fairy dust. You're just walking through and the ego thinks we have to do things. Like, no, you don't. You just have to be. Just be and move and I look at it like playing chess. We're making a lot of decisions, we're making a lot of moves, but we're not
Yeah.
actually moving from the chair. We're not actually like the avatar's moving. We're kind of like the avatar's moving around and we feel like we're doing so much, but it's an illusion. It's just the soul's really moving the avatar, and that's why it feels effortless because it's like this with avatars like the pieces on the chessboard, and it's like move here, move there, and it's like the resistance to moving to that square on the chessboard can be resistance from programming or resistance from, remembering, or it can
Yeah.
be resistance in that's not even my path and the programming's there. And I feel like when people do this work that we are on the path to doing, you are very, very good at discerning between the programming and your soul moves. And it's no longer, decades and decades ago where it was the programming that was moving us. We were being fully moved from the programming. We were hustling from the programming where now it's just observing the programming and going, yep, I do feel like I've got to do all the dishes at my aunt's house because and you're just like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And you just take your hands up. You're like, no, no. And it is like, the other week I was meant to go to a friend's 40th birthday and it just felt so unaligned. And I was like, I'm just not going. And there's nothing toxic about it. There's no distaste. I love her. I respect her. I wish her all the best, but it's just, that's not my timeline anymore. And it is that effortless discernment where it is so light and it is so nuanced, but it's just like, it doesn't feel like my higher self. And you just no longer operate from programming or things you have to do because you're friends with someone, or you've got to be here and you've got to be there, and you'll never fully understand why. It could just be one person at the party would bring your frequency down, or this would change timelines here, or there's a portal over there. Like your ego is not really meant to know, but your soul's just like, trust me, listen to the whispers. They're quiet, they're hard to hear, but just keep moving with the whisper. Sit over there
Yes.
in the morning, move there. Don't
Yeah.
yell at your kids in that moment because they need to sort out a lesson. Like it's crazy.
It's so powerful. My intuition feels like it's magnified massively, and I'm not really sure what it is, but it's literally like I can predict things. Always had that, gift of telekinesis, but I've known when things are coming, but this is really detailed. So it's the stillness
Mm.
and affords me, it's an inner peace, this inner harmony. And because of that, I can predict. And I think to myself sometimes, did I cause that because I thought of it? It's a very fine line. But I can predict what my child is going to ask for. And I've already in my mind got a solution, like what's a really nice high protein snack that's going to get them off the ledge because they're about to walk in and it's going to be carnage, and just those little things add up to a day feeling just so much more smooth and effortless than always being in kind of reactive fight and flight. It's like that's gone. That is not a vibe for me anymore. And when I feel that coming up, I think, whoa, not in alignment. That's not for me. That's not who you are. We're not here to play like that anymore. And I have a little chat with myself and go ground myself again. I get my feet in the dirt, or I, put on music that anchors me back into that frequency or whatever it might be, smell an oil, hug a child. Like there's so many options. Just stare at
Which
nature.
one? Which one of you is vibrating the highest right now? You.
Oh, so yeah, exactly. It's a beautiful thing, and it's like just everything drops in so much more, yeah, joyfully and easily. Yeah. And it's in my relationships with my parents, they've grown so much. And I realize now my part in those relationships was that I was hanging on to this small child version that I thought they wanted to see from me, and the reality is that they just wanted me to grow. They wanted me to, which I did, but really grow, like really anchor into who I am, unapologetically me. And that's made them so happy. Our relationships have evolved so much, and yeah, I'm proud of that because I can see it in my community and I can see it in my family and I can see it in my kids and I can definitely feel it in my marriage. And it all they say it starts at home. So I can feel that, yeah, it's had a really profound impact on me over that short period of time. That's why I say, like, life literally is just getting started for me. It's like, oh, I get to be a kid again, get to be happy and joyful again and not stressed out. Like, how cool is this? It's really
I
good.
love that.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like pure alignment. When you're the channel and there's no noise, there's no programming, there's no conditioning, of course you know what's going to happen when it happens because you're the one that created the whole thing. And it's just being in this present flow, this present state. And it's so interesting because programming and conditioning, it's like, oh, psychic, oh, intuition. And it's like, that's like just your normal natural state. It's like you know the journey, like you can feel it, like you get to like when you're in that higher state of consciousness, that pure channel, that pure bliss, and you're fully living without time, pretty much living without time. So you're feeling it, your intuition's higher because the program's not running your life. And that is a gift that we have as women. It's the feminine flow, it's the knowing, the intuition, we just know when things are going to happen and how they're going to happen. And yeah, it's a huge testament to you. I feel like you're going to help so many old souls around the world on this journey really live the way that you're living and embracing this, because I'm getting goosebumps, because there's just so many people that have come from where you've come from. And to be able to shift this fast in such a short period of time and rewrite your entire nervous system the way that you have, and, go away from the clock. And it is like you're living in this modern world, but in a very, very, very different way than a lot of people are living. And it's pure abundance. It's pure bliss. It's pure joy. Such a clean frequency. And 47, you look like you're 20, like you're just glowing. You're like, but you have that energy. You have that energy, and it is like it's pure and it's clean and it's vitality. And it is the medicine that most people in the world are looking for. They're looking for the vitality, because vitality isn't just injecting peptides and taking your vitamins like we do every day. It's really stepping into the embodiment of this frequency, which is we're young, which is life doesn't stress us out because we've created the whole thing. So why would we create something that stresses us out? Like, that's just not a vibe at all. So
I love that. I love that. Absolute truth. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. Thank you. I
huge.
receive, I receive, I receive.
That's all it is. It's all this like, if there was one word to shape up the most healthiest human experience, I think it would just be receive. Like
Yeah, I
it's
agree.
just receive.
Mm, yeah, we aren't taught that, and it's just so important. So yeah, thank you.
No,
Mm.
so welcome. It like how you've changed your life in such a short period of time is a huge testament to you and the work that you've been doing for lifetimes, no doubt. It's not, I feel like, to come into this chapter where we are right now in this matrix grid, whatever you want to call it, in Earth School, like to be here right now, we are living in the best time of human consciousness. Like, I fully believe that we are in the best time to be alive. This is heaven on earth. This is where the grid's woken up to leave the 9 to 5, stop working like a dog. You don't need to wait till you're dead and retire. Like, we're in a grid right now where there's 20-year-olds that are just like, choose your thoughts and Bitcoin will explode. Like, it's just like, because it's
Yeah,
all made up.
wild. It's a wild ride right now. I totally agree. It's just the age of Aquarius, and
Mm.
it is so powerful and so immediate, and it's just about being able to receive and keep the capacity of our vessel, full and in that receivership mode. Yeah.
Mm. I love that so much. I love that so much. So, and we've gone a little bit over time. What's really happening? I know that you're in this kind of phase where I feel like you're birthing something pretty exciting, and maybe maybe you know what it is, maybe you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But if
There's
you want to share a bit about that, or where people can find you to start following your journey, because I know I feel a big, big, big movement coming for you. But not in the age of like hustling and pushing and hard, but I just feel you're just going to change millions, if not billions, of lives in this lifetime. And it's going to be just by being you so effortlessly, so beautifully. But yeah, please share a little bit about what you're doing right now or where people can find you.
Thank you, beautiful. I mean, I am sincerely anchored in the things that light me up, family, freedom, adventure, travel. They're all my values. Holistic health, and just so, I just the way I'm raising my children, I know takes courage and tenacity because they are with me all the time. But the genuine joy of feeling that I'm raising fully embodied children that are free at spirit and won't be raised necessarily with all the old school paradigms of a traditional education, that lights me up. So my intention, we've spent 3 years on and off traveling full time and world schooling our kids, and my intention is to continue doing that and now share that journey so that others can gain from it. So I'm not active on social media at the moment, but people can find me on Insta, Jasi Colley, JasiColley, if they wish. And I am going to start building that with the kids and just showing what we do and how we live a really, really full life. And I think if I could just inspire one person to tap into that sense of building the next generation and leaving this legacy for their children with their children and just loving it, like it is such a vibe for me, then my job is done. So I really trust there'll be the ripple effects over time. But for now, that's my purpose. I love it. And I just know that the unfolding will be so effortless from here because I've come home to myself and it's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
I love that so much. And I pray that more and more people find their path and they find it effortlessly and they find it with ease and flow and fun and joy and bliss, because when we can truly just step away from all of the programming on how we need to raise our kids, on, the world of, and I'm not saying this is wrong to people that are living this life, because I definitely was, but the world of like trying to get them into the best private schools and really pushing and competing. And I feel like the more that we just lean back, and it's interesting because my son the other day is like, I really want to live in Australia. And he's 11. And I was like, cool, give it another 2 years. If you really want to do that, we can pay for you to go to boarding school. Like, it's not, I'm like, it's your journey. I'm not going to, mind you, I'll take it out of your trust fund, but I'm joking. Maybe. We'll see. Like boarding school is like 50, 60,000 a year in Australia, but it doesn't matter. The money's just like air. It always comes. But it's just funny. It's like you want to give them a life that we were never given. I was speaking to my ex-husband and I was like, they're never going to see or know stress or anxiety the way that we did. Like they live on an island where, there's always holidays, everyone's just chilled, everyone's happy, and they won't know the way that we were raised in the stress and anxiety of like paying for the mortgages and getting things done. It's just like I just never wanted that life. So it's so beautiful. And the way that you're raising your beautiful children and living the life that you're living so free, and all your like on a soul level, all you're doing is living out your soul's path. And that's got the most cleanest energy there is. And so when kids get to be in resonance with that at a young age, I don't think there's a greater gift you could give your kids. Like that's everything. That is all we're here to do.
Yeah,
So
I agree. I see you doing the same thing, and it's so inspiring. And it does, going against what is traditionally expected of us as society, it's definitely, there isn't a day that goes by that I'm not challenged in my choices. Literally every single day, whether it's, through family, friends, community. And I just now feel very confident standing in my power and the choices that I'm making. And I can tell that they know the difference too. So they already feel the difference. So yeah, it's just an honor raising the next generation. And I want to do it in a way where I feel proud. And I've spent a lot of time with my kids and sacrificed a lot so I can be with them. But nowadays it doesn't feel like a sacrifice. It just feels like that's how we used to live, tribal living. It was not just one person raising a child. And And Bali is the most spectacular vibe. I lived there in my early 20s, and I love the idea of raising children where it's so spiritual and so connected, and there's a tribe that's raising them, and you feel safe. I feel safe in that on that island. So having your children in a place where they're not in fear is just the most magical gift. Hence why we're moving overseas too. So yeah, I love it for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, this has been such a fun episode. If there was one piece of advice you would give to anybody, just in life in general, anyone that's probably considering stepping into this work, into the Kundalini frequency, going into the whole next level of their life, what would that be?
Gosh, there's a lot, but probably the greatest breakthroughs for me personally have come from integrating the dark and the light and just loving every part of myself. And I did find that the Kundalini frequency made that a fast process, like falling back in love with all the gnarly, gritty things that I'd locked in a dark cupboard and just loving all of me has created this sense of just holistic wellness that no one can take that from me now. That's just who I am. And it seems to just grow and grow and grow. So, I mean, if I was a person on the street and I was keen to work with you, Eva, I wouldn't hesitate. That's just me because it's changed my life. But just regardless, loving all of ourselves and not being scared of the darkness, because that authenticity it's that age of Aquarius. Like, I truly believe those of us that are authentic, that show up as our full selves unapologetically, are going to make the biggest transformation and change and impact in this world. And it's what we need. It's a huge time of change with AI, and it's just a whole shift. And we need authenticity more than ever before. And that means you've got to love all of you. So that's what I'd suggest.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your time, your presence, your frequency, all the inner work that you've done, for just being the light that you are. And it's just, yeah, truly, truly, truly an honor. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Definitely go follow Jazzy on Instagram and wherever life takes her. I feel like the next few years you're going to be in this like Zen mode, but I can just see when I tune into your field, like it's just so much is coming for you. You're like, yeah, it's so good. It's like, take this, take this, take this. They're like, could you please write a book? You're like, okay, I'll just do all of it. But very, very, very exciting things coming for you. And it always starts when you're able to hold the foundation of peace, of presence, of just being. It's all it is. It's just being here right now and being safe to be here right now without life to be any way other than what it is, because that's the foundation that holds worlds and empires and huge changes globally. So I really honor you for being you, and I'm so excited for what's coming.
Thank you, Eva. I adore you. I love your work. I love your authenticity. And you are literally, Coach Eva is literally a household name here with my kids and my husband. And I mean, the ripple effect of your work is very tangible and real in this family and community. So thank you so much for showing up how you do, babe. Love you to bits.
Thank you.